Thanks for joining me. I'd like today to introduce you to a new range of clips that we're introducing at Philmac, stainless steel clips. One of the reasons we're doing that is we still have our traditional range of plastic clips which have been used for many years, but we're finding a lot of people in the horticultural industry have been asking for stainless steel clips. They have a somewhat better life than plastic, and so we decided to introduce a range. If we have a close look here, what I've got is a couple of different sizes. We're doing a range right through from 13mm low density polyethylene right through to 32mm. These are the clips themselves. The great thing about these have a tremendous locking mechanism. This piece here locks over here, and I'll demonstrate that a little later on. They generally go through a range of around about 2mm and have a compensation loop here, either a large lump on this one here, or in the case of this one, a couple of little small pieces here. So it gives us a range, and what it does is those compensation loops will open up with a larger pipe, but also make sure they provide a good solid seal against the pipe and don't allow for any movement. I'll now demonstrate the installation procedure. I mentioned earlier that the clips themselves suit a range of low density polyethylene. That includes inline drip. So from 13mm right through to 32, but a lot of the inline drip have different sizes, and we have clips that will suit that as well. Just having a look here, I've pre-fitted a joiner and made sure I've got the clip on to begin with. That's important. What I'll now do is what I need to do is grab my other piece of pipe, which I have here like this. And the important thing here is just to make sure I pre-fit the clip. That's important. So let me just get that clip on there like that. Okay, and just join these two pipes together like that. Okay, so now I've got both clips in place. We have a couple of options. We do offer a tool, which I'll demonstrate here. It's one that we have available from Philmac, which suits these clips. You can actually use a pair of pincers, so you don't have to use this tool. Let me just show you how it works. It's simply a question of using the thinner side and grabbing just like that, and together, sorry, just grab it properly, together it goes like that. You can see there what we have is we've locked together, and the compensation loops, these are slightly smaller ones, have moved a little. I'll show that again. So what we're doing is under this little tag here, we're using the thinner end of the tool, which I'm grabbing and putting in there like that. And what I'm doing, you'll notice, is I'm sitting behind, I'm sitting on the shank, so I'm sitting behind the barb, and just a question of squeezing like, and you'll hear the click, and then they're together. And you can see they're very sturdy, very tight, and that's going to last for years and years and years. I mentioned earlier these compensation loops. They're actually quite important to making sure these clips work properly. The clips generally have a range of around 1.5 to 2mm of size, and what we want to make sure is those clips provide the even amount of force right through that whole range. So if you look down here, you'll see one that's been pre-fitted. This is the compensation loop, which is actually flattened out slightly. That's it in its normal state. Now, if it was perhaps a slightly smaller piece of pipe here, this wouldn't flatten out as much. But by doing that, that now makes sure there's an even amount of force right around this piece of pipe. So let me just demonstrate that by tightening up this other one here. So if you just bear with me, unfortunately it's a little difficult to see. I'll grab it there and tighten that up. Now that may be a little difficult to see. I'll rotate this a little there. Sorry, just underneath here you can see now that that's actually flattened out compared to what it was before. That's really important. So now the force around this pipe is very even, and that will make sure that this pipe won't move over that barb, and that's going to be good for many, many years to come.